that's why I want them to come back and want him to come back and meet you.
Yeah.
And y'all talk.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
So that's why that's why with this situation, with anything, we're always willing to have a conversation. So even when this, let's say, a conversation is not an endorsement of anybody's agendas, and I can only go with what I see online. So seeing y'all here face to face, having this conversation. So you're saying, as far as y'all's, listen, y'all are not a racist,
bro. It's in our tenets,
bro.
Yeah, it's on our tenets, bro. If you're a racist, I can't fuck with you, bro.
But if you listen to the media constantly, they keep calling you racist.
Yeah, bro. I'm anti-racist, bro.
We don't do that shit.
Yeah, bro. I'm against skinheads. I'm against the KKK. I'm against anything that stands against racism.
So even with y'all's, pretty much y'all's fashion, the organization, I'm pretty sure, there are the different radicals. I'm pretty sure every chapter doesn't have all the same police and core beliefs. So some places, may be, one way where others are not. More or less. So, if anything, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the conversation. I feel like a lot of rumors or whatever could be dispelled with conversation. Yes, with anything, people could have hate in their heart. You can't control what somebody thinks in the back of their mind type situation. And that's with any organization.
Yeah, absolutely,
so,
bro. I agree with you. What part of town are you from?
We're in the 757, pretty much in Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, etc.
I got homies everywhere, bro. I got homies everywhere. I grew up in Chesapeake, Norfolk, Virginia Beach area. Bro, that's like the back of my hand, bro. I know all the whole area, bro.
Okay. What's going on, buddy? Not much, man. We're just having a conversation, man, seeing what's going on.
A couple of my brothers.
Yeah, so we just wanted to, ask any questions, have any questions, answer.
Our
thing is
bro. Listen,
talking discourse, man. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, bro.
Let's figure shit out.
Yeah, absolutely. Black lives.
Let's figure shit out.
Yeah, Black lives matter to us, bro. Can't.
The movement.
White lives.
The movement is important to us.
Yeah, white lives, brown lives, green lives can't matter until Black lives matter, bro. You know what I'm saying? We all matter together, bro, and together we need to stand up together as a group, bro.
We definitely all get bad media.
Yeah, dude, it's the media, bro. Don't listen to the media, bro. We're not against you, bro. We're not against you at all, bro.
85% of what you're fighting for is 85% of what we're fighting for, and we can sit down and talk about the other 15%, man. We're willing to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Bad media is the problem.
Well, that's why we came back. Cause my thing is this right here. If I'm willing to die for my country,
can I
die for you, bro?
I'm still with the
I died for you, bro.
Can I shake your hand or give you that?
Yeah, bro.
God bless you.
God bless you guys, man. For real, I'm with y'all 110%. Y'all have no clue, bro. I don't have no problem with you at all, bro.
We stand with the movement.
Like I said, and I can take this.
White college kids that are breaking windows and fucking shit up because we know that's not y'all, it's the assholes.
So we as men,
assholes. We got a handful of assholes too. Let's throw the handful of assholes in the garbage and let's all of us sit down and have a conversation.
We as men have two things. We have our word and we have our balls.
Yeah.
So if y'all out here talking on what y'all saying, if y'all hold to what y'all true and to what y'all saying, a man is true to his word and his balls. So if this is what y'all saying out here to us. So people can't stand on it. This is our first time meeting y'all. This is y'all first time meeting us. Anything outside of that, I can't really account for. But as of right now, I'm having this conversation with y'all. I'm willing to have a conversation, and that's with anybody who's willing to have a conversation.
I'm glad God's brought us together.
Hey, being from 757, bro, I appreciate everything you're doing, bro, because I'm from the hood, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm from Shoot Park, Norfolk, Lafayette, Tidewater Drive, bro. I've been in, you got all these white people that are fucking walking with Black Lives Matter, talking about oppression and this and that. Bro, I've been in the hood, bro. I've been with my black friends and stopped by the police. Hey, what are you doing in here? And I'm like, cracking fucking police. I live right there. I've been pulled over with 3 or 4 of my black homies in the car, and they get pulled over, and they think we're doing a drug deal. And I'm like, these are my homeboys from childhood. No, we're not doing a drug deal. These are my homeboys that I'm with every single day. So I appreciate everything you're doing, bro.
No, that's why I came back. He talked to me. I brought him back. Because, see, it's about unity.
Yeah,
this is Virginia. We can make a change in Virginia.
I said it. Let's focus on that 85% we agree on that the media is telling us we don't agree on. The rest of 15%, I promise I'll sit with you and we'll work it the fuck out.
I'm for it, bro.
We'll work it the fuck out, man. But we need to stand together and not let them take our rights, because our rights are what's important. That 15% that we disagree on, there's some kind of compromise we can sit on and figure out. Maybe we'll both be a little unhappy, but we'll be content because we'll know it's going our direction.
Yeah.
We want to stand with you, man. We want to stand with America. That's all we're concerned about, man. We want our rights. We want our Constitution. After that, we the people can sit down and figure it out because we're smart people.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. Well,
I just want you to know I got your back, bro, and I love you, bro. For real. I do love you, bro. Listen, brother.
Yeah.
I got your back, bro.
Look, Black lives do matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we're here to again unify and take care of our people. And if you say we the people, then you know we the people is all of us, not black lives, not white lives. And black lives do matter. I'm not separating that, but I'm saying until we come together, all of us, we're fucked.
Yeah.
You're right.
Fucked.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's why I brought him to you,
Yeah.
you to him.
And I
Okay?
appreciate you.
I'm old school.
Hey, I'm old school too, bro.
I'm old
Everything's
school.
always better in person when you do it.
You're right.
face to
You know,
face,
I'm
it's
just
always
bring,
better.
come on,
Yes.
because I grew up in
Absolutely.
Virginia.
Yeah.
And I ain't know nothing about no racism. I went in
bro,
the
me
military.
either, bro.
I didn't know. I had no
Me
clue.
either, bro.
We got along,
I'm
right?
a
Every day.
Florida man from the trailer park. Trust me, I've had my head bounced off of cop cars as many times as
Right.
anyone else, man. Like,
But
fuck.
it's time for us, man. We got to come together.
Yeah,
Amen.
absolutely. And I'm
Amen.
with y'all.
Yes, sir.
You got
We
a
have
Twitter?
to.
Oh yeah, I mean everything's BLM757. Y'all reach
Okay,
out.
I'll
We'll
look you
definitely
up.
set up the
Okay,
conversation,
yeah, I
future
really
conversation.
Thank you so
Can I
much for
send you a
talking to us.
DM?
I think
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can-
Let's
Okay, I'm
do
gonna
that.
send you
figure
DM
this out
and
like
say
this.
Governor
we,
O,
we
okay?
the people
Okay.
can make a
Okay.
Definitely
change.
that.
It's about we the people, because this government's about we the people. They don't run it, we do, and we got to get that back. And the only way we can do that is by figuring some shit out and standing
Yeah,
together.
for sure.
man.
All right. Well, so we're gonna hold you to your word. We're gonna look forward to that, and we're gonna have some conversation.
Man, bro, I'm gonna reach out to you. We can have dialogue.
He will. Actually, he won't shut up. It'll frustrate you.
Yeah. Hey, I just did a podcast up in Northern Virginia, man. It was 3 Black Lives Matter. It was just me, bro, and I wore everything, bro.
For
and
sure.
we had a good dialogue.
Dialogue. That's what we need.
It's about dialogue, bro.
85% of everything we agree on, man. We just gotta figure out that
At the end of the podcast, bro, we all hugged each other, man, and said, let's hope for a better day, bro. You know? Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Thank you, bro.
All right, we're gonna get up the road. Appreciate it.
Yep.
But we're definitely gonna be in contact
We're
soon.
allowed to disagree.
Definitely.
We're allowed. We just gotta figure out how to
All
disagree.
right, good too.
Back again.
No problem.
When you came here to that march, you had that march up here, not that over the summer.
Yeah, right.
That was good.
All right.
Do you think it would go that way?
I mean, I don't know. You never know what you think these things are gonna go, because you don't ever talk to these people in real life without yelling and screaming. So I don't know. That's why I have conversation. I don't know. I never know what to think. All I can never know is the media said some stuff, and we don't never know what to know. So until you have a conversation.
I think you have common grounds with him.
I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's hard to scope. We're just out here in the element. So, like I said, after future dialogue or whatever, if it comes to, we'll see what the B is and the is. Make sure my people don't get too far away. Oh, they're from France too. I interviewed with them in Charlottesville. They usually have a red one. Now it's blue.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Will Collins with USA Today.
How you doing, sir?
Let me just get. Are you cool if I record?
Sure.
Okay, let me get my correct phone out here. Kind of witnessing something interesting here because. So I do a lot of writing on the Proud Boys. Interviewed MLK a bunch of times. Actually been texting with him today. His take is he hates Black Lives Matter, right? I mean, the boss of the Proud Boys, he's like, oh, they're terrorists, everything else. But I just saw you chatting away to them, talking to them. You trying to start a dialogue? What's going on?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much why we came and hang. So we originally came here, for a lobby day.
Right here, look, these awesome gentlemen had a real discourse, dude, a real conversation. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
How you doing today? How you doing?
This is what we need to do, man. All of us.
You got my number.
You
got the number.
Figure it out. Fuck them. Unite. Yes, sir.
That's a call. I figured you got my number.
Yeah, no problem, man. It is good. I respect
But
it.
if all we have is media bits and videos of what individuals stand for from one or two individuals, something every single organization doesn't want one or two people to define them or it. So with that, we can look at that scope for a minute and see and have that conversation. Like I said, at the end of the day, when we having a conversation, it's not going to mean necessarily I'm working with you or that we're, you know, in the family's there or anything like that. But a conversation is just that, and we do have to occupy the same space. And even with us coming here today, we came here on our own agenda to occupy this space and for the Second Amendment and all this, etc. And, you know, other people standing out here with that, getting confused with, oh, well, we saw them in the same screen grab with this X group and now they're terrorists. And it's like, no, we were here. Today is Lobby Day. It's MLK Day. This is the second year in a row that we've been out here.
But still, I mean, the head of that group, you know, famously a couple of weeks ago, ripped down a Black Lives Matter banner, set a light to it, and then boasted about it on social media and said, you know, hey, these guys. I mean, I've personally had conversations with him many where he says, you know, Black Lives Matter are communists, they're terrorists, everything else. Like,
I mean, he didn't come here and say it, so I mean, that would be the day that question would be answered. But I mean, as far as right now,
the local people said, hey,
right,
look,
yeah, locally, that's what the guy locally here said. So that guy from whatever, you know, wherever Egypt he's from, that's how he feels. But you know, here locally, like I said, because we do have to occupy that space, so I need to know, do I need to be looking over my shoulder at you? And at the end of the day, all you are is your man and your word. And even when you're at war, do the generals not still meet? Are there not still war, you know, lines where, you know, hey, the generals are going to meet, you know, in whoever's territory? No, they're not going to get touched because they're meeting to talk about the war. If there needs to be a war, if there doesn't need to be war, and then you go from there.
Would you support that kind of dialogue yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm not having dialogue with anybody. And so if we can't have a conversation, then we're shutting America out. If you're not willing to have that conversation to find out exactly what they're saying and what they're doing, you're shutting. That's not, you know, you're not fully exercising your right to free speech.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about just your group in general, because I've been posting stuff to Twitter. I'm getting tens of thousands of people watching this video of a bunch of like young African Americans carrying guns, and they're like, "What?" It's blowing their minds. Like, it's blowing their minds. So like, what are you guys all about? What are you here for? Like, what's the main reason for being here today?
I'm JaPharii. I'm with Black Lives Matter 757, aka BLM757. We're an independent group, now with the national, and today was to take back power.
Good to see you, bro.
Guns, the Second Amendment is bringing all you different groups together.
Yeah, and I mean, you can gather in the same place without, you know, throwing hands and arms. Like we came here just as we are right now. Before, you know, we were in the pack, but last year it was just like this, me and him, and we were welcomely warm. So we can't say that anybody played or did anything. We were welcomely warm. Everybody was very, you know, welcoming of us last year. A lot of them, you know, had them, but there was still that stigma that even the black groups, they didn't deal or didn't fool with the Proud Boys even then too, and that was known. So it was like the Proud Boys was like here, and then like all the 23,000 people like around them, and it was kind of like, but it was still here. That everybody was in their cool. Of course, you had your young whippersnappers who would occasionally get all stupid, but you know, kind of like he did. He would grab us by the collar and be like, "Hey, chill out. We ain't out here for all that. We out here for the Second Amendment. You know, that's that."
Do you think the Proud Boys in general are misunderstood by the media?
I mean, I can't say that. I don't know. The dialogue hasn't been there enough. You know, I haven't had enough. You know, the dialogue hasn't been there. So I can't judge something off media grabs. I have to see. I don't know their bylaws. I haven't been to anybody's website. Because personally, I don't even know offense to them, but it was never in me to, you know, to research them or anything because it had nothing to do with me.
I mean, I've been covering that group for 4 years now. I've been covering, you know, basically extremist groups around America for 4 years now. And something I've noticed, at least since January 6th, is the tone seems to be changing in this protest. There seems to be a tone of like, let's talk, let's get together, let's talk this stuff through. Maybe because a line was crossed last week. Are you seeing that too?
Oh yeah, I mean it was definitely, you know, a line crossed, and to me, if nothing else, that gave me hope in America to see that. Oh, so if he did do this, you would at least acknowledge it, and you would. Okay, so now that you saw that, you know, what I'm saying, he is who he said he was. Then now so now, like I said, it is opening up the conversation a little more broad, because if that's the spectrum you are on, that's fine because, you know, he was maybe the president for whatever you felt reason, you know, whatever your personal reasons, if it was your, you know, whatever it may be, Second Amendment, First Amendment, however. So we're coming to it now, like you said, they may have seen that awakening, the chickens coming home to roost, it's like, oh, so this is the America we're living in, and you're either standing with the people or against. Like, even in Malcolm and Martin's days, they were in those streets with black people and white people, and then there were certain types of awakenings, like, you know, Bloody Sunday. People saw that. Once you see that, I was like, oh, so this is very, very real. So if it compel people to be out here and march with us, want to join with us, want to combine resources with us, want to see what we're about, want to build with us, and, you know, see what we're about. We, BLM757, we've been here for 5 years, God willing, on July 10th of 2016 is when we started. So we've been here for 5 years. We were there for Charlottesville. We've seen the temperature go. We saw that go ignored. We saw that rise from the KKK rally that happened first in Justice Park that led to August 12th in the first place. That whole timeline. So we saw that here. So a glimpse of what happened all summer, we've pretty much been getting warmed up to since 2017. You know, there has been, you know, discord. But Virginia is the birthplace of Confederacy. It's where the first Africans were brought here in 1619 to Fort Monroe. This is where they fired upon troops. This is where, you know, Christopher Columbus took over. So this is all happening in Virginia. So with Virginia being the first in the birthplace of racism, Virginia has to be the first place to end it. It has to be the first place to, from the inside, which is right here, which is logical, which is why we're here today. We have to get it done. And so if it takes us occupying the same space, and the more we come out here, the more conversations we'll end up having, the more good will end up happening, because we're going to say, hey, I remember you from the last 2 and 3, and you're still out here, and then you start sharing, oh, this is my son.
When you got, I think when you pretty much first showed up and you were down a couple of blocks that way, I may have read this wrong, but there seemed to be a little bit, when the other guys showed up, when frankly the white guys showed up, and we're going past with the guns, I heard you saying things like, heads up everybody, you know, like eyes up. Was that sort of, were you just sort of feeling out the waters, waiting to see, like, are these great guys with us? Like,
I mean, with this is common, you know, knowing your surroundings.
Okay.
So with this, and that's with anybody, anything fast moving. Look what we're doing. We're not out here operating like dummies. You know, we're out here with a lot of heavily armed individuals. So we are, and that was our main reason coming out here too. We are organized. We are armed. We are willing to do what we need to do to fight for our community. So no, we're not that, you know, rough patch activist group. It's that rebels without a cause. No, we're taking it to there, but we still do our community work. We still do our toy drives. We still do our food drives. Take care of anti-bullying, suicide prevention. Attend funerals of individuals from gun violence, you know, stand and mourn with families of gun violence. We aren't just your police brutality group. We are out here for America. We are out here for the 757 first. And so that's why, you know, any issue that we have at home, which is the Second Amendment, because we need to be able to protect ourselves from terrorists, both domestic and foreign. We need to be able to protect our daughters and our sons. We need to be able to protect our community. So that comes with the gun laws and the restrictions that they may or not put on us, and that's the common ground we're finding. So we all got kids, we out here to protect them and make sure that everybody goes home.
Would you call upon the leaders of both the national leaders of Black Lives Matter and the national leaders of the Proud Boys?
I was a little smart.
Sure. Would you call upon the leaders of the national leaders of Black Lives Matter and the national leaders of the Proud Boys, the national leaders of all of these different groups? Would you call on them to sit down and talk this stuff through in the same way that you have today?
I mean, if they were willing, I mean, it's a pandemic in the perfect world, it could be on Zoom, or it could even be on Clubhouse now.
Sure.
Clubhouse, as far as 757, you know, however, but I do feel like a conversation does need to be had.
Okay.
There has been a lot that's happened in the last, you know, even since, you know, in the wake of George Floyd, you know, in the wake of all this, and the constant, you know, constant diamond building. You know, it's never been in my time or anybody's time that I can think of before the civil rights movement. There's been a time where there's been steady day after day after day after day. When we had, you know, when Charlottesville happened, okay, you had protests, you know, a few months out, you know, a few weeks out, all right, cool. They're headed back to back to back. I'm talking about constant pressure. They had no choice, but they reform and re-reform. They adapt and we adapt. What do y'all want? We're not going nowhere. We've been telling y'all we want the same time. If y'all coming out here like they had with us, we personally had tanks brought to our, you know, so we personally been pepper bombed. I've personally been violently arrested at peaceful protests. This happened this year, in the last, since May. This has all happened multiple times. We have guns pulled us in Richmond and Virginia Beach, etc.
Can I ask you something about that? Because I mean, when you were watching, I don't know, I'm assuming you weren't in DC last week.
Heck no, I was at home sipping tea,
so
enjoying the show.
But when you were watching that go down, and you see all of these Trump supporters who are, you know, overwhelmingly white, and you see them storming into the nation's capital and being welcomed in and people taking photos. Like, how, as someone who's been pepper sprayed, who's been, you know, attacked basically by law enforcement, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel in the least bit vindicated. Like, at least I haven't been screaming at the clouds, and I don't have to be theoretical anymore.
You mean because these people really are as dangerous as...
Yes, they are exactly who we said they were, and like I said, the fact that it happened was only going to say that y'all, they literally vindicated us. And so everything that we've been saying, they literally proved it and said, well, what if, that would never happen.
Well, they've been calling you the thugs. They've been calling you the terrorists. They've been saying, we don't smash stuff up, we don't do that stuff.
We accept the election. We support the process. Sure. We accept the, we're taking, we accept what we do. So, now that y'all are saying, y'all been saying, not my president, yes, he is your president. If you don't like him, move out of the country. If you don't like him, you don't have to be here. X, Y, Z. Now, exactly what happened with this, that still happened. So, it's ironic, and, it's like I said, it's more so proof that what we've been saying is all along. I definitely want to use that moment to say, drop all charges on peaceful protesters across the whole entire United States of America.
It's JaPharii?
Yes, JaPharii.
Okay. Is there a number I can reach you at in the future? Like I say, I cover this stuff. If I can, maybe I can just put it in my phone here. This has been really interesting. I can't tell you how I know this, but I can tell you that I know that there are rumblings at the kind of higher levels about some sort of a meeting. You know what I mean? Some sort of a sitting down. So given your take on this, I'd love to kind of keep talking about it. So you said Hold on, let me get it in here. JaPharii.
JaP is in Paul.
Oh, okay. JaPharii.
JaPharii.
Okay. And you're with BLM757.
Okay, yeah, send it to me.
In Virginia, here in Virginia?
Yes, it's only about an hour away.
Okay.
But with that, like I said, that's our social media tag and everything. Okay. I know you said you were tweeting. Where were you tweeting from?
So it's @WillCarlos is my name.
Oh, okay, we won't call that.
So you're @WillCarlos. You can see all the idiots responding to me too. So JaPharii, what's the best way to reach you?
You have self. You put the number in?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you missed it, bro.
What?
How if I just fucked that crazy bitch in the street?
What?
Oh, watch out.
I'm sorry.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
How if I just fucked that crazy girl in the street, bro?
Sorry, I had to handle business. I had to handle business, man.
What the hell you doing, bro?
Humping that.
I was jumping.
I'm doing all right,
Hey, she's gonna climb on, man. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? She's a pretty woman. She's got everything hanging out. Like, come on.
Just walk there. There's nothing there. Hey, there's nothing.
The footage is garbage.
Your knee is
Ooh, can we do Black Lives Matter?
that I'm enjoying it.
You want to do Black Lives?
I miss you.
You miss me, baby?
Yes, very much.
Shut up.
I can't stop thinking about you.
So text me on Instagram.
I will try to sign into account if they don't shut me down.
And we love you.
I miss you, baby.
Please don't forget
Go to
me.
hell.
Oh. I don't have one. I've been kicked off of all social media.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
See the little short little black dude right there? That's Jalen. That's one of my brothers, man. He's a proud boy. Little black dude right there. He's a proud boy.
TikTok.
Proud boy?
Twitter.
Oh, they call him a crackhead something. Crackhead, I can't think of it, bro. I can't think of it.
What the hell just happened?
Dude, I don't know. I won't be 7-Eleven crap. I'm sure. Yeah, you enjoy it, bro.
But I hate them. They're so hard to use.
Checked up, easy.
Hey, can I get you in for a minute?
I'm transitioning.
Can I get you in for a minute?
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say,
Well, I'm
I
done.
think we talked to you about a little bit about what we were thinking about and stuff, and I think that's all true. But I will say, both of us have a responsibility to kind of police our own. And I think the BLM movement, which obviously I fucking believe in Black Lives Matter, right? But it's been co-opted by a bunch of white fucking people that don't give a shit about Black Lives Matter. And they're causing problems. And it's giving the movement a bad name, just like people are giving our movement a bad name. That's the problem.
Well, see, the thing about this right here, that's all we did. We started 757. We're not them.
Oh, I don't think you are, bro.
See, that's what I'm saying. Well, what I'm trying to show you, like y'all are Virginia. You know what I mean? And see, that's how we recognize each other, right? And we got to talk. We were here together. So that's the unfortunate thing that did happen, and it's still happening.
Yeah.
You know, but we do recognize in our community. Trust me, we go in our community. We have gun violence. We go in there. You know, we go in there and talk to the people. So yes, you are absolutely right. I would never tell you, oh no.
Antifa people are getting in this movement, and then
they're throwing everything off.
And exactly. They give you a bad name, huh?
They're throwing everything on. So yes, we do recognize that. That's why we talk to Virginia Beach Police.
And we know there's some bad people in any movement. That's why we're out here talking to you too.
Right. Well, we have to talk to each other because at the end of the day, come on. If we basically was rich and famous, okay, it wouldn't matter. It's rich people who are controlling us either way we go.
That's true.
That's controlling us. And they don't want us to talk to each other or communicate with each other.
You're damn right. And so you're an old guy like me.
Yeah.
We used to be able to go to a bar, sit down, and have beer. So, I know I just call you stupid because I didn't believe when you believe. You called me stupid and we cheers and so. Now everyone's on sick on there.
We still can do that.
I don't know. Social media now.
I know.
Separated.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. We cannot let them separate us. We cannot. We're here in Virginia. We're here together.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter, because let me tell you something.
But you know what who's doing it? It's the forces, man. It's the people in the government, all that stuff. They need us to be separated because if we all unite, we're going to call them bullshit all done. You know, they don't want that.
Well, what you got to understand.
That's why we're racist. You're racist. Everyone's they call.
You got to understand. When we started the First Amendment, we were doing our thing. Y'all started the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
You put the first and the second together, and you walk together.
Yeah.
Proud Boys on one side of the street.
Yeah.
Other brothers on the other side, and
I'm
we
down
walk
for
straight
it, bro.
down the middle.
I'm down for it.
That's what's going to basically speak volume. Okay, that's going to speak volume.
No,
At the end of the day, we got to do something.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't have a First Amendment without a Second Amendment, though.
Right, I know that. Yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You know that, and I know that too. You know.
If they come take it, we're fucked. Shit, we live in a military state after that.
No. Pretty much on the square. It was time with what y'all did.
All right, bro. It's been a pleasure, bro.
All right, man.
Yeah, for real, we love you, bro.
All right, now.
I look at the media, I see black people being killed by unarmed black men getting killed. I see white people killing black people. So I'm in the South. I'm from the East. Shouldn't I be like afraid? No.
You've been black in America all your life. We always have had a reason to fear for our life every single day. No matter what happened on the 6th, no matter what happened tomorrow, we had to fight our way out of freedom. We were brought over here at 16, 19 and had to fight our way to this point right here. So it would be doing our ancestors a disservice if we didn't arm ourselves in the spirit and the light that they could.
Do you think that they see you differently being armed in black versus being armed in white?
Absolutely. And like I said, they have to end that stigma and have to get more used to it because black people are the most rising owners of guns right now. That trend is going to continue to climb, especially with our influence.
Now listen, let's say if you get stopped by police, you're driving, and you have a conceal and carry, are you afraid? Are you more of like what's going on through your head?
No, I mean,
because I'll be afraid. So you're not afraid
more?
No,
so what you want to do is, I definitely would recommend don't drive until your hands are situated where everything is where you want it to be to a point. It's not a high-speed chase. You don't have to pull over immediately or else. So make sure you're situated so you can hit your record button. The most you can do in that situation is, get to a safe place. As of right now, I do want to put this out there. Virginia doesn't have body cams on state police, so I'm saying get off the interstate if you do get pulled over by state police because they just killed Xavier Hill a few days ago.
And that was where?
That was in Gooseland, Virginia.
And he's a black man.
He's an 18-year-old black
And
kid.
he's armed?
No, they say he was armed allegedly. He said he pulled out a gun allegedly, but after a high-speed chase.
So that doesn't make you I really like and enjoy that you're not afraid. Because me, I'm afraid.
You can't be because, at the end of the day, that's going to put you in a sticky situation. You're going to say you're suspicious, and you're going to have a real reason to be afraid because then they're going to put you in an occupying situation. So keeping a calm head, know what you're going to do beforehand, practicing maybe even with a friend.
Because being a black person, they already think you're dangerous and you're like suspect and blah, 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 blah. Now, if you tell the cop, because they ask you like, are you carrying a concealed weapon? If you say yes, they may just shoot you.
Or you can just say, I don't answer questions. That's always an option too.
They could shoot you for that too.
At the end of the day, you were born black and that's going to be your history for the
That's
rest of your life. So you can't do anything about it.
That's
we have to wake up and live that truth. So we can't do anything until we're done with that. So and to the day you die, we can't live live in fear. Else, you know what I'm saying? You have an aneurysm thinking about all the dangers of being black in America. So on top of that, giving yourself heart disease is not worth it. Just live life, and whatever happens, happens. You can be all swole up. One day get hit by a car, and then what? Who gives a shit? You know, we all got to go sometime. That's the only promise we have here on life. So, I mean,
so you're saying if you're black, be armed. Don't be afraid. Yeah, you hear that, everyone? If you're black, be armed. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
okay.
If you're 18 and you're in Virginia, you can legally open carry, and that you don't have to have a license. You don't.
What's open carry mean?
Open carry pretty much means it's open. Everybody can see. There's nothing there right now, so nobody will see what's going on your hip, and so it will have to be on full display. You would have to have a concealed weapons permit in the state of Virginia. This applies to the state of Virginia, so wherever this goes, you have to read upon your state laws and your city laws and your city ordinance. So don't quote me on this if you're not from Virginia. End quote. So conceal is when it's covered, so nobody sees it. You don't have to show it. It can be anywhere. It can be in your arm.
So can you do that here?
You can do that, yes, in Virginia. Virginia is very 2A friendly. That's the other thing that made the debacle on DC a thing. DC is a gun-free territory, just like Baltimore. So gun violence is more is at a higher rate in states where there's stricter gun laws. So in Chicago, so in New York, so in Baltimore, where guns aren't allowed, there's more crime. So in the states like Virginia, where people can actually arm themselves and actually and arm themselves, it's not just the criminals with the guns. If you take away all the guns from all the law-abiding citizens, that literally leaves all the guns in the hands of all the bad guys. And then what? We're just sitting at Target, and you're sitting there watching your family be brutalized, and then you can't do anything but call the police and yell and scream and wave a knife at them. And you know what I'm saying? You have to wait for the police, however long that may be. You may live in a suburban neighborhood. They got to drive through a lot of hoops. They got to call backup. They have to dispatch, and you're sitting there.
So you shot at people
15,
before?
20 mil. I can't answer all that stuff here.
Oh, okay.
So you know, life is life, and you know, you can only do that and live life to the fullest.
Okay, you have Instagram?
Yes, JaPharii757 or BLM757.
Let me find you. I like you. I like your whole philosophy. Yeah, we're good. I like, no, but I really wanted to, you know, because like I'm thinking to myself, like, black people being armed. That's JaPharii757.
Are y'all with him? Yeah. You mind if I get a picture when we're done?
So he is called AR.
This is Thank you, JaPharii. I'm Crackhead Barney is back. Thank you so much. That was great. So, but in New York City, I can't carry anything.
Right, and you can't carry there. Well, I was in there for Brooklyn too. I did. We shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. We went up there and.
When are you going back again?
We'll figure that out now. So maybe we'll connect them down.
Yeah, please tell me. I would love to join.
I'll shoot you my number.
Yeah, sure. Oh my God, I really like you. I like that you're black and you have a gun. Cause like you know. But wait.
Cameras, do everything I'm saying.
Okay. Just type it. That's so cool. Tell me when you get into the city. I would love to just like march or whatever. So you go to the New York So the Black Panthers, yeah, they say the Black Panthers were here.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said that, you know, we all because we came from the same area, which is the 757. That's pretty much an hour from here. It's very Corral.
Yeah.
Something in the water, a lot of good things. So we pretty much formulated 2016. He's the family spokesperson. Earl.
Hey,
He's the family spokesperson for William Chapman.
Are you in the army? Okay,
He was an unarmed black. His unarmed black cousin got killed, and we actually got vindication. We got the clock 2.5 years, and we were able to do it together.
What's vindication?
We were able to get it. So you know, the cop got 2.5. It's pretty much victory.
2.5 years in jail.
Yeah, the cop
for killing someone.
Yeah,
That's fucking garbage.
It is garbage, but most cops
they don't get anything.
They just walk.
Yeah.
So, you know, with being that we got that, we want to be able to put that out and show people that, hey, they can, you know, it's possible. And we also, you know, I originally started doing activism because my 14-year-old cousin committed suicide due to bullying. And so that made me...
That was recent?
No, that was in 2000. It's now the 5-year anniversary for that, too. That was in 2016.
Shit, sorry.
So that's what sends us into everything. And like I said, puts everything into perspective and knowing that, you know, there's a lot of people out here without a voice and there's a lot going on. And we need to get back more into, you know, finding out what's wrong with our kids and finding out, you know, the mental health issues and stuff going on, and make sure that, you know, people aren't out here feeling alone in a room full of people. So, you know, just doing what we can do to make it better in America is all we can do. So.
JaPharii, it was great meeting you. What's your name?
Earl Lewis.
Earl Lewis. Great meeting you guys. Hit me up. You got my number.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Peace.
All right, guys, let's go. I'm so happy. You want to